Right, hello. Yeah, what a morning. Still can't believe what I saw last night. The only good thing about it is that I didn't make the trip down to Scotland to that match. I was offered tickets, but I couldn't afford to do that on Sunderland away. And I guess I chose correctly there. I just thought I'd put in my tuppence halfpenny's worth, since everybody else is doing it. Usually, of course, if it was a home game, we've got that sort of result, I would have got all the lads to give their opinion. But anyway, mine's quite simply this, and it is a current theme, is that obviously last year, results like that, we of course blame the manager. You know, what we say, tactically inept, clueless, motivationless, ridiculous formations, bizarre substitutions, players don't play for the manager, blah 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 blah. It was always the manager, and I weighed in, not because I was a lover of Moyes, but I just weighed in and said, well, hold on a second, regardless whoever the manager is, at least play for the badge, play for the shirt you're wearing, at least put in a shift for all the people who've travelled a long way and paid a lot of money to come and see you. And that was my gripe. I didn't think the players were playing well, and you know, when you can't when you're ball watching, when you can't mark a man in the box, when you can't put in a cross, you know, a decent cross into the box, when you can't make yourself ready to head the only decent ball that comes into the box, when you can't put your header on target, when you're flying penalties into the third tier, when you can't even do a flipping 10-foot pass to somebody who has exactly the same shirt as you, and those sorts of things, you wonder what's going on. And obviously, I said at the time, well, clearly that the players aren't good enough. That I went through a list of players who no longer should be at the club, and even during the Ferguson era, I still was not convinced on. And Ferguson, as I've said many times, really left Moyes in the shit, because I think he left them a squad, an aging squad, and a squad of players that he really should have got rid of. And then everybody counted out saying, "Oh, we just won the league at a canter the previous season." I'm going, yeah, but that was just because of especially the influence of one man, Robin van Persie, who was like fit for none of all the games and really pulled us out the shit, despite the fact that we were leaking a lot of goals. Of course, Van Persie last season, he wasn't fit. We still continued to leak all the amount of goals that we've been doing the previous season, but of course we didn't have anybody just putting in like a world-class effort, scoring goals and pulling games round for us. And here we go again. He played. Van Persie played on the last the last match, and he got taken off. He didn't look for it. You could just go through the team, and there's just player after player. You just go, no, not good enough. No. And at the end of it is what have we got left with? A lot of people are saying that our goalie isn't good enough at the moment. He doesn't come out for crosses. He doesn't control the box. He doesn't dominate the box. He doesn't shout at the defenders. He doesn't make the defenders aware what's going on behind them. That he isn't that type of character. And then of course we've got the formation that Van Gaal wants to play, which is three at the back. And I've been saying that again. Three at the back works if the three guys at the back can play three at the back. The problem is if one of them loses possession, you're buggered, because then you at least 3-on-3 or potentially 4-on-3, and that's what we saw last night. Evident, you playing that formation, people were losing the ball, and you were buggered, because with three at the back you've got no cover, and with three at the back you would imagine therefore that you'd be more you're sacrificing the stability at the back with more attacking minded midfield and two strikers. If you look at that, if that was the case, we're a bit dodgy at the back, but the amount of goals we're scoring will compensate for maybe the ones leaking at the back. Well, that's not happening either. So, yet again, who do we blame? We can't blame David Moyes. He's been sacked, so forget about that. So it's the same squad that plays in North, apart from, of course, some massive signings were obviously made. And we have to say, who do we blame? Again, is it the manager? Do we blame Van Gaal for it? Is he tactically inept? Is he not motivating the team? Is his formation poor? You know, what is it? The fact that he said, I think it's going to take a year to get us somewhere. You know, if Moyes came out with that sort of thing, and he got abused online for coming out with things, because he was speaking the truth. He was looking at what was behind him. He says, look, you know, we can't expect to do this. Flipping Van Handel's already come out and said, no, you know, he's just straight away. He doesn't look very optimistic at all. So we're going to go another through season of this. So, yeah, it's interesting. And I'm sure Moyes must be at home at the moment just thinking, told you. And unfortunately, he didn't have the previous qualifications or the credibility that Van Gaal came in with to say, look, you know, I've done it, so I can do it here. Moyes didn't have that, unfortunately. Van Gaal has. So maybe he will turn it around, but like, we've got to get rid of a lot of people. We did a video the last game of the season, last season, of who's got to go, and a lot of them are still there. You know, who's good enough, who's not good enough. So again, it's the same ones. Fletcher, no. Danny Welbeck, no. Chico, no. Who else? Anderson, what in God's name is he doing them back at United? When I saw Anderson play tonight, I just couldn't believe it. And you saw that goal. You see that one when the guy came down and Anderson was supposed to be the man tracking him, and he just sort of did this sort of kung fu kick and the ball went past him. Pathetic. You know, watching the ball come in instead of just standing to the side of the man and just flipping, just putting your leg around him. Pathetic. Ball watching, not tracking the man back. So anyway, sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, Anderson, what's he doing back? Nani, thank God, he's away. But he isn't really away because he's only on loan, which means we're still paying his wages. OMG. And I could go on and on, you know. Is Evans good enough? Phil Jones, you know, probably. Smalling, I don't know. De Silva, you know, will Van Persie, you know, regain the form that he had 2 seasons ago? Is Rooney still interested? I don't know. So many questions at the moment. We've got Burnley, of course, away this Saturday. If we lose that match, or if we get a draw that match and not a win, Christ Almighty, could this be the worst start to a season ever for United? I don't really know. I don't know all the facts and the figures, but goodness sake, I've never known in recent years a season like this. The funny thing, in the corresponding fixtures last year with Moyes, of course he beat, we played Swansea first and we beat them away, not at Old Trafford. We played Sunderland away and we beat Sunderland away, and of course in the the Carling Cup games, well we know what happened there, you know. So yeah, so what can we say? Van Gaal is determined that he wants to play it 3 at the back. Will that formation even work in the Premiership? So it is the fact that the man will there's I don't use various words or it explains the type of manager that he's been labelled at before, but basically it means somebody who listens to nobody else. So is it, you know, the fact that he may not listen to somebody else and say, look, Louis, maybe the 3 at the back ain't going to cut the mustard within this league. And if he's going, oh no, it's basically, I think with the man, it's his way or no way. And if his way's not working, will he still, you know, when we're not winning and clearly it's not working, will he still believe in his own formation to the detriment of the team, the results and the fans? We'll wait and see. Loads of questions. Interesting stuff. Last night it is a new low, and I thought there were a few new lows with Moyes last season, but last night was a new low, and I really don't know what to say. I'm completely baffled. And will the guys they've brought in, will they fit in? Will, you know, Fellaini, does he have a future at United? Will the formation, can Mata even work in this formation? Will the new players bed in? Tony Valencia, what's going to happen to him? Ashley Young, what's going to happen to him? You know, the future doesn't look bright at the moment, and I've got the new manager's yet to convince me. And I think people are now, finally, because Moyes is not with us, sorry about bringing Moyes up again, now, you know, people can say, oh, Moyes ruined us, he destroyed us. No, it wasn't. It was clearly going wrong before that. You know, we did win it that season. The season before, of course, remember when City won it in the last minute? We should have won that season as well, but of course there were some just ridiculous matches where we should have won or we were winning and we lost. What was that game? Everton at home. You know, that game, for instance, where we lost points in that game. There was just loads of the things that happened. So you think things have been going wrong for quite a while. Things have been wrong in this squad, bringing Moyes in what was a mistake. I think we should have had somebody who came in who just said, "Lack, you know, I need to get rid of half of this squad." And people said, well, "What's wrong with it?" And that's what people were saying last year. What's wrong with the squad? Ferguson won with this. Clearly, players now. Finally, I think it's dawning on people. Don't blame the manager. You got to blame. A lot of the blame's got to go with the players. The players are not good enough. Some of them are utterly hopeless. They're not good enough to play for United, not good enough to play in this league. And then you have to say, well, who brought the players in and who left the club with these players? There is only one man. Yeah, I really don't know what to say. But that's my thoughts on the issue at the moment. And I just hope that our current manager gets rid of these guys. They're just utterly hopeless, and I just hope that if this three at the back's not working out, that he has the if he even does have this, the humility to say, right, I'll have to accept it's not going to work in this league. I need to play four at the back, to good central defenders in the back and a left back and a right back. Hopefully that will happen, because I do think that's the way we're going to work. I really fear that when we play against a attacking team like maybe City or Chelsea, that they would rip three at the back to pieces, because of what's happening at the moment. But anyway, it's all in the future. It's all interesting, and I think it's interesting times to be a United fan. It really is interesting times, and yeah. Anyway, that's it really. I'll appreciate any comments you make, and I'll answer them forthwith. Again, it is only my view, so you can disagree or agree with him, whatever. But yeah, I know one interesting thing that's going to end up on this is the fact is, why did Van Gaal put out that team last night when we're not even in Europe? It's not as though he's saving the place for Europe. There's only a few competitions there's only three competitions we can win: the League, the FA Cup and the Carling Cup. Why not just put in other players, when clearly we're not in Europe and we don't have to save them for that. We're running out on things to win here again. It could honestly end up being another trophyless season. Anyway, see you later.